St. Patrick's Day is in touching distance and I still have books that I need to read, so let's get reading them. I have got 3 books on my TBR by Irish authors that I have been meaning to read all of 2024. They're the kind of things that friends have given to me. They're the kind of things that I've loved this author before and I really need to check out their next book. Or it's the thing that my dad has given it to me and he thinks I'd really enjoy it, but I need to read it biblically now. First up is Kayla by Colin Walsh. I got this from my friend Kate towards the end of 2024, and she gave me the stipulation that I had to read this by the end of December because she wanted it back for her 2024 Best Books flat lay. And I gave it back to her having not read it at all. But I went down and I got my own copy of it because I genuinely did love the idea of it. It's about a group of 6 friends who all grew up together in a tiny little town in Ireland. And one of the friends, Kayla, goes missing. And they're all trying to figure out what it is that happened to her. And I think that there's a kind of a break apart in the group. So 3 of them are still really close to this day. And 2 of them have kind of just like gone on the periphery a little bit. I'm so intrigued by it. And Kate said that this is something that I would really, really love. So I need to actually figure out if that's correct. Next one up is the one that has the bookmark in it because it's where we're starting. And that is The Snag List by Sophie Y. I read My Hot Friend around the end of 2023 and I loved it. I really love Sophie's writing when she's talking about a group of 3 people who all have something in common and they are just figuring life out together. This one is a group of women who all buy a house in the really prestigious and really high-end Monterey Bay or Monterey Valley or Monterey Park housing estate. One of them is the mother of a child who is kind of like a YouTube sensation. One of them is trying to have children, but it's not happening for her. And the other one, I think, is just plodding along with life and trying to figure out what's going on between her and her husband. I really love how she writes these groups of women who just have something in common and they come together. So I'm hoping that it's going to be the same as My Hot Friend. Then we have the one for my dad, and that is The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. This was also the B&K Book Club for September in 2024, and I meant to read it then because I wanted to get part of the discussion, and I didn't. This is now going to fit into one of the Pop Sugar reading prompts for 2025, and that's a challenge that I do every single year because it is set in a kind of a luxury resort in the Scottish Highlands, and it's the opening weekend, so a bunch of influencers and a bunch of celebrities have been invited to take a look around the weekend. And it's also about a group of friends who were all together as students in Oxford, and they've kept kind of tight-knit and super close together, and then things start to go really wrong as they've gotten to this manor house. I am really intrigued by Lucy Foley's writing this time because we've had ups and downs. I really enjoyed the guest list. The Paris apartment I DNF'd. I haven't read The Hunting Party yet because I don't know where that's going to sit. It's also set among New Year's Eve. It's also set among a big manor house. But I am intrigued. Let's see what happens when we go in. I have just gotten back from the office. It's Tuesday evening and I've spent the entire day listening to The Midnight Feast. And I'm making an executive decision to DNF this. It's not grabbing me whatsoever. And I gave this a college try. I think I got to about 20-25% of this book where it was a no more go for me. I don't care about these rich people and their problems. I do not give a single shit about what is happening to these people. I'm not interested in picking this one back up. It does feel very kind of White Lotus-y, and I find that show to be a bit of a slog as well. I find that show to be really difficult to get through. So this one is just not going to work for me. I don't know if I'm going to substitute anything in for the rest of this vlog. Let's see how the other 2 books go. I am going to go put my workout clothes on. It's just coming on to 7 o'clock. I'm going to go put my workout clothes on. I am going to go out for a walk and I'm going to bring the audiobook of Kala with me. I have very little to no idea about this book. I don't particularly know exactly what's going on with it, but I'm going to give it a really good try. I know a lot of people who've really loved it. One of my friends gave me a copy of it and said that I had to read it because it was one that she truly loved and she felt that I would truly love it as well. So let's see if that is a self-fulfilling prophecy. As for the snag list, I am 86 pages in and I genuinely enjoy this. I had a feeling that I would enjoy Sophie White's kind of trademark take three women, put them all into a very similar situation and see how they get along with one another. I am having a really good time with this one. At the moment, I don't know which one of the three women, Lindy, Ro, and Alva, is my favourite. They all have their kind of ups and downs. They all have their kind of pros and cons. All three of them have something that I don't like about them. All three have something that I really do like about them. But I'm going to keep going with it. I'm going to go out on my little walk, and then I'm going to come back. I'm going to sit back on this couch. I'm going to have dinner, and I'm going to continue on with the rest of the book, and let's see how we feel after that. I haven't gotten a whole lot more into the snag list, but I have gotten a good bit through with Kala. I didn't start it on my walk on Tuesday. What I did do is I started it at work yesterday morning. I didn't have a whole lot of meetings yesterday. I didn't have a whole lot of meetings today, so I did get a good time to kind of power through most of it. And now I'm about 50 or so % of the way through the book. And this is where you would expect that I would have some ideas forming. Sadly, I have no ideas. I do think that this book is a little bit complicated. This has a whole lot of things happening all the time. There's everything's happening all at once. And there's a lot of characters that I have to care about. There's a lot of people that I need to know about. There's a lot of situations and a lot of stories. This is about a group of 6 young people who were all really good friends back in 2003. And one of their good friends, Catherine Lannon, or Calla, has gone missing. Fast forward to about 20 or so years later, and things are really starting to come to light. Things are starting to kind of revolve a little bit more. And 3 of the people from that friendship group, Helen, Mosh, and Joe, are the ones that we are going to be focusing on for much of this book. Helen is back in the area. She is living in Canada at the moment, but she's back in Kenlock at the moment because her dad is getting married, so she's here for his wedding. Joe is back in the area. He is now a really successful musician and he's been traveling around the world, but he's back in Kinloch at the moment. And Mush, God bless him, has never really gone outside his front door. He works in his mother's cafe and he's very much kind of content with this small life that he's had. I absolutely adore Mush. I really enjoy all of the moments that we've gotten to know him. I really enjoy just listening to his story and listening to what it is that makes him tick. And there is so much that he is keeping hidden about himself, not just in this particular moment, but also back in 2003. There was so much that I feel like Mosh was holding back about himself, and that I really just wish he had the courage and the strength to tell people like Joe, hey, I really enjoy hanging out with people like Aoife and Helen and Calla. I just really like being around them. I really like the energy that they have. I really like who I am when I'm with them, for example. But I think he feels like he can never truly say who it is that he is. As I have said, there is a character in this book called Aoife. I don't know how I feel about her. I'm always a little bit wary. When there are Aoifes in books, I'm always a little bit wary if they're going to carry on her name with good distinction. But something that I do love about this book is that one of the narrators of the audiobook, Mo Dunford, is an actor who grew up near where I grew up. He grew up in Dungarvan, which is about a half an hour away from where I am. It's our closest big town. It's where we go for like the weekly grocery shopping, for example. And just hearing his name in the list of narrators at the beginning of this book it was just a really nice and quirky moment. It is Thursday evening and I don't know if I want to go for another book from my TBR. I could try and start Binding 13 by Chloe Walt. This is the final weekend of the Six Nations rugby tournament, and I always said in my head I wanted to read it along the 5 weeks of the Six Nations. But I feel like I now would be girl bossing too close to the sun if I get started with it. I feel like I just don't have enough time to get 800 pages read between now and Monday. But I'm going to carry on with the 2 books that I've got right now, the 2 books that I'm enjoying right now, and let's figure it out where we get to by then. Welcome to Saturday. I've got a bunch of stuff that I need to film, and it's looking like this. I've also got a bunch of books that I need to read. I am about 70% of the way through Calla. This has really started to pick up. But what I'm a little bit concerned about is that something that was described as happening on the blurb, that there are 2 teenage children who go missing in the community in the present day, is only starting to happen now. When it's such a big thing that it's in the blurb, I really thought that was going to happen like 40-50% maximum through this book. But now that's happened, we're going to have to do a whole lot of detective work. We're going to have to figure out who it is that has taken them, why it is that they have been taken in the first place, how to get them back, all of that. When it comes to the snag list, I am not far in at all. I'm about 115 pages through. It's not to say that I'm not enjoying it. I am really enjoying this. It's just that I haven't had a whole lot of opportunities to read it lately. But Lindy, Ro, and Alva have actually gotten to know each other. They have started a WhatsApp group together called The Snag List, where they started out complaining about all of the things that were wrong with their house. Now they have gone into complaining about all of the things that are wrong in their personal lives. And I am so intrigued to see this friendship grow and to build, but also to see what's going to happen in their own respective lives. Lindy is the mother of a young boy named Max. He's 11 years old, and he is the star of Maxed Out, a YouTube channel that is kind of like a child growing up, reviewing toys, day in the life type thing. Lindy isn't really on the camera. That's more of her husband Adam's thing. And she's starting to feel really resentful about the life that they have and all of the things that it has awarded to them that she doesn't feel like she has deserved or that she has owed. Ro has moved out to Monterey Valley with her husband, and she has a really tumultuous relationship with her parents. Ro is bisexual, and her parents were never accepting of this, and they have a feeling that now that she has married to Eddie, all of that has been laid to the side. But things aren't particularly as black and white as her parents might be imagining, and Ro isn't really ready for the next step of having a baby, to the point that she hasn't told her husband that she's come off the pill yet. As for Alva, she is the mother of Tilly, who is a young baby. I think she's about 9 or so months old. Alva's husband, Tom, lives in the US. He is a massive investor. We're not entirely sure who it is that Tilly's father is, because there is a kind of a crossover in the timeline between Tom and between Seamus, who is one of Alva's really good friends, and they had a one-night stand back about 18 months ago. I have ideas as to where I think all of these storylines are going to go. I have ideas as to what I think it is that's going to happen. Let's just see if I get there by the end of the day. I thought let's shake it up a little bit. So this evening I have actually been reading on my chair for the first time in, I feel like, ages. I cleared out everything and I finished Kala. This book really took a while to get into. I feel like for the first 75 to 80% of the book, it just existed. And then you get to that 80% mark and things are actually starting to take shape. Things that are in the blurb have started to happen at about 75 or 80% of the way through. And I feel like that's too late for things to happen. Overall, I had a good time with it. I think it was really, really well written. It's so beautifully written for what is a debut novel. There are times that I would just sit back having read an entire paragraph and that I would just astound at how beautifully written it is and how well crafted and how well thought out it was. I think this is a great debut novel. I am going to take a look at what Colin Walsh does next. I am going to take a look if he brings out anything in the future. But I am also a little bit disappointed by how this went, because I feel like I'm a little bit let down by it. I think my friend May have really bigged this one up in my head, and I feel like she might have just maybe sold it to me a little bit differently than how I had wanted it to be. I feel like it was the kind of book that I went into it thinking I would never be able to let it down. I would only be able to read this for the entire day that I had picked it up. And that didn't actually happen. There are also quite a lot of characters in this book that you have to keep track of. There's a lot of people that you need to worry about and get concerned about. I'm sad to say that the Aoife who was in this book turned out to be an absolute head wreck by the time that we meet her again in the 2015 or 18 timeline. She turned out to be the antithesis of what she was like when she was younger. She was much more straight-laced. She was the mother of a young toddler. She was very much live life by the rules. And I feel like that is so different to how we had met her previously that it almost felt a little bit like a caricature of what people can be like once they've settled down and have children. I feel like I would have liked to have seen a different ending for her, but that's just how people's lives go. As for the snag list, I swear I am enjoying this book. I truly, honestly am, but I concentrated so much on Kala today that I haven't gotten a single bit of it read. I know that I want to get back to it. I know that tomorrow is going to be a full day where I have the entire time that I can just let loose with this book. It is just me, it is my cup of coffee, and it is my bed against the world tomorrow morning. And I am going to sit in my bed and I am going to pour myself a cup of coffee and I'm going to read the snag list. I want to finish it tomorrow. I want to say that I'll be able to finish it tomorrow, but I don't know how that's going to go. I really like this Patrick's Day vlog to not bleed too far into Patrick's Day. I'm glad that I only have got one book that I still need to finish before the day turns up. But at the same time, I'd really like to not have to finish a whole book by Patrick's Day. Hopefully, by then, I'll be somewhat closer to finishing it. It is Sunday morning. It is the day before Patrick's Day. I have been sitting in bed on my phone doom scrolling for most of the morning, but now I feel like I actually need to go and get stuff done. So I'm going to have a shower, and then as God is my witness, I'm going to read more of this book. I would like to get to at least page 250. That might be a bit of a tall order. Let's see how the rest of the day goes. But I am going to give it my best shot because I really want to get stuck into this book. I am enjoying it. I'm having a good time with it. I'm just not getting a lot of opportunities to read it. Happy Monday, happy St. Patrick's Day. Now that I have only one book to finish, let's see if I can actually get the job done. 213 pages into a 402 page book. I took today off of work because it feels illegal as an Irish person to work on St. Patrick's Day. So we're heading out to a massive all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet for lunch. Then we have to go to IKEA. I've got a couple of things that I need to pick up. We're going to go to a kind of a shop that's a little bit like, how would I describe it? Deals, Poundland, like a dollar store kind of a thing. Then we are going to go to this really fancy Italian supermarket to see what they've got there. I have never been to it before, but I've heard it's got really high quality Italian ingredients. And I feel a lasagna coming along in the next couple of days. So let's just see how the rest of the day goes, not just including the plans, but also how it is that I'm going to get on with this book. I just haven't had the opportunities to read it. But I feel like since today is the last day of this vlog, if I don't finish this book today, have I failed the vlog? Well, we failed. I have this much of the book left to read. It's very likely that I will finish it by the end of the evening, but I definitely have not finished it by the time that I wanted to get this vlog all the way wrapped up. I also realised that I have not gotten a single piece of B-roll footage for you. Despite saying, oh, I'm going to make this really nice potato bowl and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Oh, I'm going to bring you with me to the Chinese. I did not do a single bit of that. That is definitely something that I think I need to get back into the swing of. I feel like I haven't vlogged outside of this house for such a long time that I almost don't know how to do it anymore. I almost don't know how to get B-roll footage, if that makes sense, because it used to be something that I was very comfortable with doing. I used to be completely fine with just whipping the camera out anywhere that I had gone to, taking video of like the food that I was eating, the books that were on the bookshelf in the shops, the sights and the sounds that were around me. And it's something that I feel like I have held back on a lot. But I do want to bring you guys with me while I'm out doing things. So hopefully in future vlogs that's going to return. But anyway, we're going back to talking about the snag list. I don't know how I feel about most of these characters. There are a couple of things about each of the characters that irk me. There are a couple of things about each of the characters that I really enjoy. I still have a hard time trying to decide which one of the three women is my favourite. I think $1 million question, it would probably be Lindy. Not because I have so much in common with her, just because I find her story to be the most intriguing to me. Lindy is the one whose 11-year-old son is the star of the show when it comes to Maxed Out. It's a kind of a children reviewing toys YouTube channel. She and her husband are going through quite a difficult time in their marriage. There is a dead bedroom going on. They're very much seeing each other as business partners and not life partners. And you are definitely starting to see the effects of that on their relationship. As for Alva and Ro, it's kind of fighting with each other for last place. No matter what it is that I read about them, there's parts of it that I just don't warm to. There's parts of Alva's personality that I don't really like. There's a lot of secrecy in hers. There's a lot of unreliability in her story. Aoife is the mother of Tilly, who's about 2 or 3 months old. I said earlier that I thought she was about 9 months old. She's actually a lot younger than that. And there are questions about Tilly's paternity. There is a one night stand that she had a couple of months ago. There is the husband that she got with very quickly. And that said husband is American, and Aoife is having a lot of problems getting into America because of some things that she had done while on a J1 visa. And that's something that a lot of Irish people used to take out and go working in like Chicago, New York, San Francisco, all of those cities around the US during the summer in a break from college. It was done to get a lot of experience. It was done to save up a lot of money. It was done to just have fun while you had nothing tying you to Ireland. It is something that I would look back on and wish that I had done, but I just don't think I was the kind of person who wanted to do a J1 at the time. Because of some things that had happened while Aoife was doing her J1, she is not permitted to enter the US, and I am intrigued as to where their marriage is going to go. I'm intrigued to how this is going to impact their relationship, impact Tilly's parenthood. If there is going to be an impact on Tilly's parenthood, I'm still trying to figure out where stories are going to go. When it comes to Ro, I really struggle with how I feel about her. Ro is married to Eddie. There are a couple of problems with their relationship, but the biggest one is that Eddie is ready to become a parent and Ro is absolutely, completely opposite side of the coin to the fact that she is still taking birth control every single day. I really do not enjoy that storyline. But I know and I trust Sophie White, and I know that she's going to wrap it all up really well. I just really wish that I was able to tell you how she's going to wrap it up. But if you do want to hear my thoughts about how the snag list, upside down. If you do want to hear my thoughts on how the snag list went, then you're going to have to come back and check out my March wrap up in the start of April so that you can find out if I actually did get this one finished. If you would love to leave me a comment but you can't think of anything you'd like to say, then just leave me any emoji that will remind you of Ireland. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I have new videos up every week. Now, get on out of here.